Rules, regulations, state of Georgia, Department 120, Chapter 123, Subject 123 through 28. 01. Purpose, rules and regulation of carnivals, rides. These rules establish minimum standard for the installation, assemblage with a repair, maintenance, use for the operations, disassembly, inspection, amusement rides, and carnivals. A fair safety standard with the protection employed by the general public using with the rides. Application of the rules apply to amusement rides, carnivals, fair with the manager of such ride with the person employed with the connection with the rides to their employees. Definition with the definition, Chapter 15, Title 25. Approved means compliance rules, regulation, ASD, American Society testing materials, average adult passenger means for the purpose of the design purpose, person weighing 170 pounds. Average child passenger means the purpose of the child weighing 75 pounds and set 12 years age under. Carnival ride means enterprise principally devoted to the offering amazement with an entertainment to the public up for the means within the ride to an A with a number combination with a not associated with a structure form public attraction which is located temporary location. Commissioner main safety fire commissioner his or her designee engineer mini slice mechanical engineer evaluation complete evaluation complete with a licensed mechanical engineer. All structural components, all subsystems of the ride shall include, but not limited to, electrical, mechanical, hydraulic, pneumatical systems, safety restraints, fencing, stairs, platforms, and welding. Fairness means enterprise principally devoted with the exhibition product of the agricultural industry and or in connection with amusement rides and provided guardian means 16 years of age or over. The guardian restriction with a condition placed on the ride where children passenger must be accompanied with the ride by a guardian on the National Electrical Code and National Fire Protection Association codes and C70 code. Manager means the purpose of having with the possession of the custody with the manual control of the amusement rides of the carnival affair, whether owner, lease, or agent, otherwise pinching heads with the configuration components with the wood pincher and turn with the fingers, toes of the person, puncture hazards, and means on the surface, provisions of the wood puncture and person skin with the casual contact. Ride operator means the person who can control the hazard of the daily control of the operation one or more rides, causing such rides to go and stop with a perform entertaining with a function. Ride operator shall not operate more than one ride at a time. Rated capacity with the capacity established with the design engineer with a normal loading operating ride with the atmosphere with a due established ride with the commissioner of the inspection determination. Ride major ride means that the device carrying specific number of passengers, adult and children with the power of gravity and carriers or a suitable fixture with a conveying with a person. K ride means the device designed primarily used for the children but we accommodated with the adults. Miscellaneous rides, any other rides specifically provided to describe it defined in these rules. Rope, where rope and cable interchangeable, the terms except with the term fiber rope is used. Safety factor of safety means ratio, ultimate braking strength of the member pace over the material with the actual working stress with the maximum permissible safe load stress when in use. Safety device, restraining device means with a safety belt with a harness and chain with a belt, chain bar or other device affords actual physical support, retention, and restraint with the passenger with a ride. Containing device means a strap belt or bar gate, other safety device designed to prevent accidental and dislodgement of the passenger from the ride, but which does not actually provide physical support. Safety retainer means a secondary safety cable bar and attachment of the device becoming disengaged with the mechanism from tipping and tilting with a manner with a cause with a hazard form riding on the vicinity of the ride. Chains should be referred to according to the material of which are with constructed alloy steel chains, wrought iron chain of the commonly known as hardware chain. Serious personal injury means with the death and disbursement visible significant disfigurement, visible, significant permanent loss of the body, organ, member, function of the system, compound fracture, visible, uncontrolled bleeding, heart attack, stroke with the unconscious, likely and attributable trauma to the head as a result of the operation, malfunction, carnival ride. Personal injury means with sustained bodily harm resulting from the medical treatment of trauma, cuts with the bruises, burns, and the brain, but it does not include with a minor injury, illness with a mental disease. This order is not accompanied with physical injury, time, and incident with the verb that does not involve the rest of the detention, imprisonment with confinement, slander, libel, violation, privacy with a mental distress, manner, injury, illness, meaning the physical, mental instance such as fainting, bruising with a minor lacerations. Treatment is limited with the rest and cleansing, disposition, dispension of over-counter medication, plastic adhesive, the bag bandage strips, fluids of mouth, and similar assistance. Property damage means a physical injury, the destruction of tangible property structure with the operational parts include safety equipment and the device. Carnival rides is sustained by the reason of an accident with a malfunction of the routine wear or tear. Does not include damage to personal property. Owner and responsibility warning signage. Every manager Carnival ride should comply with the effect of the compliance provision, rules, regulation. Every employee with an employee should comply with the provision of concern effect with the conduct with each owner of the manager lease with the responsible following one or more of the following of officer of the insurance of the safety fire commissioner prior to any being placed into the operation certificate insurance against liable injury to arise in person arising out of the Operation Carnival Fair ride amount of at least $1 million a bond and in the same amount stated with the A above the cash or other security acceptable to the department for in an amount stated the A above. All ride and patrons operation bay all posted signs include but not limited to warning signs, instruction signs, direction signs which are not inconsistent with the rules of the instruction ride attendants properly use the safety equipment provided. Act responsible minimally while using Carnival ride device and attraction. Refrain from acting in the manner that causes or contributed to illness injury or self other than not participate in Carnival ride device of attraction while influencing over the alcohol of the intoxication subject. Be subject to all of the following penalties. Violation section A, remove the ride, remove the device attraction from the bar for returning that day. Remove the Carnival's operator property barred from returning that day, subject to the civil penalty maximum $100 per infraction excess in accordance with the civil penalty provisions of these rules. All ride patrons minded with the patron, parent, guardian with a report with the riding Carnival owner with a designee with the injury sustained with a Carnival ride prior to leaving when the Carnival owned premises unless the ride patron with the parent, guardian is unable to file with the report because of the severity of the injuries for the cause of the report shall be filed as soon as possible. Sign requirements. Warning and direction shall be based on the standard American Society Testing Materials National Standard Institute and expressly approved of the Commissioner with the nationally recognized with a technical scientific authority amusement ride with the Carnival ride industry. Sign shall be displayed over the public conspicuous place with the near ride with the device of attraction is clearly visible at least a distance of 15 feet with the ride for responsibility. Potential penalties should be posted at least one public and conspicuous location presence for the Carnival owner. Application for permanent no Carnival ride shall be the operative name for that location unless the permit is issued by the office. Each owner with a manager or lease for the shall apply with the permit before January 1st each year with the firm furnished with the office for the following must accompany with the application certificate insurance with the bond and security with the use listed with identify each ride with the itinerary within the time of the date, location, with the inspection fee of $65 for each ride with the annual permit of $50, a form payment and certified check with the money order with the payable with the office of insurance with the fire safety commissioner in situation with the emergency booking makes modification period impossible. The office shall be notified and cell phone at least 72 hours prior to the setup of this with a notification of the confirmed with the writing and care for the owner with the band or manager of the necessary with the change itinerary because of the having the report with the itinerary office shall notify the officer change immediately on the event of special inspections made. The additional fee of $75 per hour for the traveling expense with the incurred with the connection with the inspection charge with the expense should be governed with the regulation travel expense for the establishment of the date official within case of the trips inspection of the two or more locations for the more parties traveling expenses prorated between the parties for the basis of the time of the expense for the incurred for each inspection special inspection if the and no routine inspection will include but not limited to failure report schedule change with the scheduling inspection violation for all of the inspection with requires for the special trip to variance compliance schedule with the inspection with less than 72 hours notice. Carnival rides may be required for the inspect with the authorized person each of the time. They be similar to this is similar to the regulations statement established for the article all of the rides entering the states if it is January 2008 to the intent of the July to have the engineering evaluation complete with at least 12 months with a licensed mechanical engineer with the ride with the all structural material components of the ride conform with the recognized engineering practice procedure for the standard of the specifications. All ride components and their subsystem with the electrical, mechanical, hydraulic, pneumatic system should be during at least 12 utilizations of the definition of the EE done BB part evaluation shall meet with the ride manufacturer requirement attached include but not limited to the following material of the parts of the component of the ride, the structural material included bar cables, chains for the ropes for the rods, tubing, pipe for the girders, trace of fittings fastened over the trustee with the pressure vessels, piping, gears, clutches, speed reducers, well, the bearing couplings, carrying as such of the tubes, carb, chair, the gondolas, seating of the uncarrying apparatus, description axle hanger with the pivot, the safety bar over the belts, harnesses, chain gates for the other restraint contained with the retaining device for the recommended repairs. The additional test for the recommended with the engineer complete with the private the submission of the report with the engineer shall be submitted with the officer with the time of the application of the permit with the new you with the rights of the promote brought to the today with the ad of the term with the notice of the hearing with the penalties issuance of the citation with the notice of the administrative received upon inspection by the inspector of the deputy with the inspector of the Carnival deemed it unsafe condition with the owner and operator you with the contractor and so that has not complied with the Carnival ride safety law with these rules. The written warning has been issued for the violation of the duty of the inspector shall issue the citation starting with the date and the time of the place of the violation. Specific violation recommended penalties shall offer the respondent with the opportunity of hearing set forth from this section. And upon receiving the information of any sort of the chief inspector determines if the reasonable belief of the Carnival ride by any unsafe condition on the owner and operator use of the contract and so with not comply with the Carnival ride laws of these rules. Warning has been issued for the violation, continuing the violation. Chief Inspector with the Director, Safety Engineer with the behalf of the officer for the made with the issue with the notice of the Ministry with the registrar with the date with the place for the violation. Specific violation recommended penalty shall offer the respondent with the opportunity of the hearing set forth within the section. Director, Safety Engineering, review citation issue with the subsection A with his old description with the citation substitute with therefore the notice of Ministry with the proceed with the pursuit of the subsection B above with the same and similar different violations inquired evidence with the Commissioner for the review with the citation with the notice for the Administrative proceed with the whole sole discretion of the may refer to the matter of the appropriate prosecution officer for the criminal injunction for the leave for the permanent done or law and such events for the commissioner and then sole with the discretion elect for the dismiss for the suspend with the continue with the civil penalty proceed with the hearing proceeding and the request of the hearing and not receive with the referral with a lot of 10 with the director safety engineering with behalf of the commissioner made without further process of the imposed of the civil penalty no greater than until civil penalty is set forth in the citation of the notice of the administrator of the proceeding with the administrator of the order of the authority of the commissioner may be issued to collect with the civil penalty assessed. If civil penalty is not paid with the commissioner may authorize the director for all of the illegal action with the name of the commissioner for the attorney of the general to collect civil penalty. Upon receipt of the request for the hearing with the pursuing with the suit with the notice of the notice of the administrator of the receipt with the director of safety engineer shall determine in his also with the discretion with the hearing shall be held before the commissioner of the insurance with the refer of the officer with the ministry of the hearing. If the hearing of it is to be before the commissioner of the director shall set for the date and the time of the hearing shall call for the file with the refer to the attorney general and legal with the representation of the office of the department to determine the director determines if the hearing before the commissioner not warranted in the matter with the refer to the officer for the date of the administrative hearing pursuant to the office of code OCGA for the 501341A1 on case line of the OSAH proceeding with the refer to the staff counsel with the department with the attorney general with the representation of the department officer for the date with the administrative of the hearings to set for the date and the time of the place for the hearing prescribed the OSH rules. All hearings were with the commissioner before the officer of the state with the administrator of the hearing shall be subject with the power of the procedure with the set forth administrative procedure act included not limited to OCGA 1513 and 5013 5013 decision administrative law judge may be the after of the hearing with the office of the state with the administrator of the hearing shall with the municipal agent with the decision set forth with the OCG 501341D shall be subject with the review with the commissioner set forth in the OCGA 151341E for the hearing before the commissioner set forth shall be with the final agent of the decision of the matter shall subject to judicial review OCGA 501319. Guidelines in the imposition of civil penalties a person with a firm with a partnership with a corporation with a business of it was probably the department that shall subject with the imposition of civil penalties if they which of the violation occur with the constitute with a separate offense with a repeat offender with the include who has refused to adhere with the order of the inspector with the exceed with the limitation with the operation permit of the review with the adhere with the requirements of rules regulation may be deferred with the appropriate prosecution official in criminal misdemeanor injunction with the relief of the permitted under the laws such as the serious of the violation include those serious causing serious bodily injury of the death of the exhibit the growth of the negligence of the tree with the disregard of the public safety may also refer with the appropriate prosecution official with the criminal ministry with the injunction for relief of the permanent of the under law and notwithstanding with the recommended minimum penalties set forth for the series of violations include with those caused with the serious bodily injury with the death of the exhibit of the gross negligence with the tree with the disregard of the public safety may receive with the maximum penalty of $5,000 each violation including a first offense the imposition of the penalty of the violation set forth or the shall not issue the violation permitted to continue. Deputy inspector shall issue with the citation shall for the time of the issue with the specifically recommended with the amount of each of the specific violation according to the rules and regulations of the director, safety engineer with the charge of the responsibility insurer, recommended the practice penalty for the violation graduated to more serious violation of the receive with a heavier penalty for the assuming the uniformity recommended penalty for the offender for the similar circumstance for the similar violation receive with a similar penalty recommendation of the regard. Director made this so the citation of the notice of the administrative procedure for the purpose of making an appropriate penalty reduction recommendation. Recommended the civil penalty set forth the citation of the notice of the administrative of the hearing shall be given with a deference for the hearing officer for the minimum of the recommended penalty set forth below with the normal first offense with the one violation being cited. Hearing officer will have the hearing over the case of the consider the fact of the mitigation of the violation as well with the abbreviation of the hearing officer shall impose the penalty for the recommended minimum penalty for the pound with the finding over the unsignificant mitigating factors shall set forth these factors in order that the hearing officer may impose the penalty with a substantial greater for the department recommended with the penalty upon with the significant aggravating factors associated with a violation set forth with the factor of the order of the hearing officer consider the provision of the rules, regulation, guidelines of the assessment penalties. In particular, hearing officers shall in case of it involved with continue with the operation, cooperative avail of the opportunity, certificate continue with the operation equipment after failing to notify the department of the accident involving structural damage, bodily injury, damage of the continued operation, unsafe condition with the detective with the equipment is taken out for the service of the inspector for the duty and deputy inspector for the consider the imposition security penalty for each of the violation hearing officer for the shall not put this penalty with exceeding $5,000 each violation each day with a continuing violation hearing officer with a made additional civil penalty recommended with the auditor with the commissioner for a period of time and definitely operating certificate, permanent issuing certificate of contract, random recommended penalties, specifically violation of operating equipment with a certificate, inspection or permit, first offense $250, second offense $500, operating equipment in unsafe condition, first offense $500, second offense $1,000, fitted a permit for the purpose of inspecting investigation equipment, first offense $500, second offense $1,000, file notify chief of the inspector accident involving serious personal injury, first offense $500, second offense $1,000, following notify chief of the inspector accidents in which involve a death, first offense $25,000, and second offense $45,000, placing ride back in service with a RED tag, placed out of service with the duty inspector with the first half of the unit inspection with authority, OCGA 2515-96A, first offense $1,000, second offense $2,500, placing ride back in service involved with the accident prior to the first half of the inspection otherwise cleared, first offense $1,000, second offense $25,000, general violation, violating adopted code standard rules, regulations, order for the first offense $250, for a second offense $500, failure to post signs if it is not limited to age, weight, and with a height restriction on each day with a constitute with a separate violation. First offense $250, second offense $500, failure to file required report, each report constitutes with a separate violation. First offense $250, second offense $500, and third repeated offense if it may be subject to violator maximum civil penalty permitted under the Act of $5,000. Alright, identification rating plenty with each of the Carnival rides should be identified with a tree with a description of the name with identification number that shall be firmly attached with a readily visible location of the metal plate with upon which is legibly impressed with the name of the number of the ride, the model number, if the name with the name of the address of the manufacturer. Upon same of the name, another metal plate with attached shall be legally impressed with the maximum safety number of the passenger, maximum safety speed with the rebuilt with the modified rides. Carnival ride with the performance of the crowd with the after with the material with the rebuilt with the modified chain with the original action ride shall be re-identified with a different name of the identification number of both of the ride shall be showed with the other provisions chapter for the new device previously used. Control of the operation Carnival ride shall be the of the component operative with at least 16 years of age. If the operator knows use of the function of the normal operating control signal system safety devices applicable with the ride and proper use of the function capacity with the speed with a particular ride, which operating with the operator shall have the immediate vicinity with the operator control of the during with the operation with the have the complete control of the ride at all time with a limited being operated with the public use of the ride shut down with the provision shall be made with the prevent or by with the public new portion shall be the other train operative with a permitted with a high only such control of the normal operation provision does not apply with the Carnival rides designed to be operative with the forward control by a passenger. Overspeeding with overloading a ride shall not be loaded with the rated capacity with the operated unsafe speed with any speed with the other than the described with the design engineer manufacturer with the information with the name with the criteria operating speed rated capacity shall be established by the office. Medical and first aid with the owner and operator shall ensure with the availability of medical first aid with the venue with the opening with the picture with the site with the absence of the infirmity clinic with the hospital with the available adjacent with the set with 1/2 mile with the rides with the air attraction with the one more adequate training with a certified individual with available appointments with the time and the appropriate skill with the render first aid, cardiopulmonary resuscitation, in addition with the first aid supply with the recommended review with American Red Cross installation physician shall be readily available to each site with the office with the appropriate place with the show with the telephone number, the physician, hospital with the ambulance with the fire, local fire police, police with the shall be conspicuously posted with the sheriff with the public event with emergency faculty, fatalities and personal injury, accidents with involved with faculty, fatality, serious personal injury in the event with the accident with involved with the fatality, serious personal injury. The person required immediate overnight hospitalization with which the owner and operator now with the right activity should be the judge on immediately taken out with the right activity should be secured with the proper and prevent our operation with the officer with the conduct of the full investigation action should be immediately report with the hour with the telephone augmented with a detailed written report with the submitted with the certified mail similarly remains no later within the code for the next bit of the day with the following accident further safety operation may be compromised with the event with the accident involved with the other either personal injury with the property damage with the which over there with the discernible with the risk over there further safe operation when the right activity compromised. Right activity should be shut down with immediately taken out. The right activity should be secured with the prevent operation of the officer with the conduct of the full investigation accident should be immediately with the report of the officer with the telephone should be documented with the detail of the written reports made with certified mail. Similar means no later than the close of the next business day following with the accident. This is the time of the telephonic report with the owner and operative with the qualified repair technician. Present sufficient time with the officer for the office made within is the discretion permit for the right actively promptly repaired with the put back in the service without investigation inspection. The officer shall make of the record. So this decision record and upon the written report submitted with the concern of the accident and all other accidents and in order to evaluate overall safety with the regulated rides and activities permitted with identification trend with the maybe department with the effect of the prevent accident with all of the accidents incident with involved with the personal injury with the property damage not include with the minor personal injury illness sustained with the by the reason of the operation of the malfunction right with the activity shall be reported as follows. Accident incident shall be reported written over the 30 days of the accident with the incident of the 30 days of the delay of the report of the gent person with the injury become with the known operative of the owner and the affect of the shall report with the accommodated submitted on a monthly basis. The report shall summarize the accident incident with the showman over the equipment repair with the adjustment accomplished with the uncrew of the witness and statement of the take of the inspection. All inspections shall have the applicable operations section ACM standard building codes national electric code with the rules and regulations adopted by the board and approved with the measure and minimum with the bride manufacturer specific recommendation requirements of the welding proceed with the welder qualification AWSD 1, 16 and C3 American Welding Society welding steel aluminum sheet metal single steel torch brazing mechanical failure reports. Owner and manager of the assume with the rise shall report with a major breakdown with the officer with the 24 hour of the occurrence with the incident with the telephone with the other with the immediate with the communication with the owner and operative manager conform with the report within 7 days with the occurrence with the reportable incident upon being advised with such incident with the commissioner with the authorized agent with the receiver with the right advice with the withheld the operation such with the cave with the officer with the conduct with the immediate supervision shall be relieved of the repair of the operation all through the complete investigation of the removal part office. Removal of parts instance of the ride failure. No part of the ride shall be removed or distributed disturbed prior to the investigation of the office load test. When the inspector deemed the necessary load test may require that the prior to the following rides have with the suspended passenger with the seat with the speed with the rules normally operated to speed with the movement of creating severe central figure forces rides over the elevated structural failure of the likely cause the passenger with the injury with the failing the rides to the office to the order test combined with the finding necessary to ensure safety. Evidence of the test, unless of the load test of the person with the representative of the officer of the may accept the certified cap of the test of the test of the person qualified to perform such test, showing whether the ride would drove the test without failure with the material with the restrictions set forth with the relevant information offered made with the required with the upon the statement of the file with the presumed with the ride with still with the test that is required. Nature of the test, each of the passenger tests of the job to be weighted with at least 170 pounds a day with the weight dead weight with the except of the ride with the intent of the small children for each of the suit and space weight at least 75 pounds with the load with the ride loaded when so loaded shall be operated with the maximum normal speed of the full operation and all controlled devices speed limiting brakes with the other equipment that provides safety. Effective with the test for the ride trail with the willing of the load test with the email and safe with the job with the new with the with the subsequent load test with the failure of the material with the respect with the ride head the load test with the failure with the material with the respect with the requirement with the test of the again will modify with the reasonable ground for the belief of the further necessary for the safety of officer of the order of safety such have to be made. Design criteria: structural material construction shall be conformed with the recognized with the engineering practice of the procedure of the chain with the specification of the design material of the construction and the feature of the incorporated safety factor with acceptable to the officer of the design with the manufacturer of the equipment, which if the use of the material is not covered by the rules or by with the reference of the existing chain with the full information concerning the material of the method should be submitted for the office of the design with the detail of the material of the construction fee for the shall provide safety factors acceptable office. Manufacturing analysis with before the new Carnival arrived was put with into the operation public use whenever the addition of the alteration of the made with the change of the structural mechanism and classification capacity of any of the device of the owner shall have the office of the notes with the intention shall with the firms of the design data safety factor with the material of the utilized stress and also with the other pertaining data of the team necessary for the office of the information shall furnish for the manager existing with the rise with the requirement for the officer with the such structural and also with the data pertaining with the design structural and with the factors safety performance characteristics shall be in according to the except for the engineering practice acceptable to the officer written in English with the, and such data with the request for without limited to the following material for the parts for the component ride structural materials including bars, cables, chains for the ropes, drive for the tubing, the pipe with the girder for the placing, bracing, fitting of fastener with the pressure over the pressure and pressure trusses and pressure, vessels, piping and gear with the clutch over the speed for the juices, roll for the bearing, coupling for the carrier with the shove of the tube, the car for the chain over the chairs with the gondolas, seeing with the carrying with the apparatus, and with the description with the axle, hanging with the pit with the safety bar over the belt with the harnesses, chain with the gates with the other restraint with the contained with the retaining device. It shall be furnished at the request of the officer for the furnace generating acceleration, deceleration, centrifugal action, and the kinetic or other force of the constant and reversible eccentric. Rating of the manufacturer will identify with the capacity of the column run and term of the number passing with the operating speed with the information so include identification rating plane seating of the carrying device. Tubes covered with the chair seat with the gondola with the other care with the ride with the design with the truck with the trunk and practical with the interior with the exterior with the part with the passenger make contact with the blend smooth with the round with the free with the shape of the rough with the blend and edge with the corner with the protruding screws projections which may cover the injury with the part to bottom with the ends for the passenger with the throw with the action rub with the adequately with the pack until with the prevent with the minimize with the possible injury with the upholstery with the decoration with the shall be permitted properly with the other moving decoration attended with the tube with the cars the tube with the gondolas other carriage with the securely fastened with each of the equipment of the keys for the otherwise secured with the show with the canal off during the operation of the ride vane with the canopy with the attachment with the winch maybe to become a disengaged show with the secured safety strap preventing flying away with the breakage of the dislocation speed limiting and Carnival ride capable of exceeding with the maximal safety operating speed with the maximum safety limited to device brakes and stop with the off with the rides with the render with the operation danger with the during with the period with the bearing loaded with the unloaded with the cave with the power failure with the other unforeseeable solution with the braking should provide with the cave with the components with the amusement ride collide with the inside with the way called with the personal entry with the failure with normal control with the emergency brake with the station with the prevent with the collision should be provided and rise makes you with the inclined track with the automatic anti-rollback device should be installed with the prevent backward move with the passenger carry units in the case with the failure with the falling mechanism, retraining of the restraint that contains safety devices, see if the retainer tubes over the chairs over the chair, see with the gondolas over the carry with the rises, depending with a single domain with attachment supports the quote with the shape of the retainer with the prevent with the carry with the catapult from the ride, preventing action with the carry with the right throw with the occupant over the carry if they become the distance give this war with the attachment restraint with the safety device, restraint with the device with the tubes carries, cars, chairs, seats, gondolas over the carrier rides where in force is generated by the accident of the ride retention and the restraint of the actual physical support with the passenger for the design with the truck the install with the weight stream with impact force of the minimum of 850 pounds per passenger constraint safe the device is on ride is designed with the inspection with the team necessary with the install with the shape of the device present accidental inadvertent dislodgement of the passenger with the tub of the chair with the seat with the gondola with the other carrier with the continuing device with the install with the device with the design with the same with the main force at $850 pounds with the exclusive with the tail with the design load with the sets with the greater minimum force. Recommended passenger restriction limitation acceptable but not limited to height, weight, age, passenger placement appropriate. Restriction provided with the individual with the manufacturer trouble with the means of the ride with the device with the manufacturer unwilling unable to provide sale. Said restriction the rendering himself with non-compliant with the laws with the ASD when the NSF with the restriction limited to be established by the owner manager with acceptable to the office. Motor circuit with the control of the manufacturer utilized with the corner with the Article 430 National Electric Code of the motor operating with greater than 50 voltage shall be framed on the ground with the conductor's safety stop circuits with the safety stop circuits with color with the trick with the cause. Here's the power figure with the system cover with the right with the circle pretend with the fail safe with the circuit show with the metallic steers landing ways and ramps adequate stairway the ramps of the necessary landing platform should provide with the people entering leaving the ride below the ground. Grade floor level the entry with the top to the right with the design with the construct of the trade wave with the ramps of the railing conform with the ocean steering with the walking working with the strip with the exempt with the ramp requirement regarding with the placement on the sail with the railway guarding L stair with the one separate should have the handrail with the railings both regardless of the width with the stairs of 18 inches with the greater in width with the shelves placed with approximately in the center of the construct for the standing railways handrails according to the OSHA with the rules and regulations hand doors design stairways landing ramps stairway landing ramps the design construct and maintain the of itself staying safety live load ever the least of 90 pounds per square feet. Stairway ramps and platforms. Stairway ramps at least over 20 inches wide with the stairway trends with at least 9 inches with the deep with the nosing with the height rise shall not exceed 8 inches with the any of the two level is right shall be the uniform depth of the rise or uniform height. Single system shall be provided utilized with the control and starting with the stopping with the right of the operator with the does not have a clear view with the point with the passenger with the loaded unload with the knee with the coal sign with the required with the code signal with the operation with the right shall be printed with the cap posted. Both the operators and signalman station. People, persons who have signal with the instructor within the use of the train with the outer stream with the air operation with the meaning of the signal system be tested for the each day with the operation with the ride requiring signal system shall not operate with this with not performing correctly. Signal system move with the operation with the amusement rivals not give it until the passenger with the other passenger other person in danger within a position of safety. General environment has with the weather and rob during lightning storm of the high wind storm of the period of the tornado warning or wind violence or with the riot with the civil disturbance occur with the threat with the direct threat of the fire of the carnival with the passengers shall be unloaded evacuated with the ride shut down secured immediately. Operation shall not resume with the situation return with the normal safety operation condition. Illumination access exhibit the final as amusement ride shall provide illumination natural artificial with no less than 5-foot candles measured at a grade no less than 10-foot candles illumination provided work levels of some of the distance some of the amusement rides. Separate emergency source illuminations provided with exceeding the flashlight and all portable trailers with the funhouse and dark rides etc. Fire prevention and protection. Fire resistant fabrics can sensitive with the part of the community ride fire resistant with the mini with the filing shame with the two strip with the testing shift and even the fabric use the fabric is identical with the arrow shall be tested with each strip should not be less than 6 inches wide with the 12-inch light each strip shall be thoroughly dry with the shall be subject with the open flame with the loud apply the lower edge of the strip with the valve with the vertically with the 12 sec with the near strip with the shelf flame or for more than 2 sec with the test flame and the remove with the contact north shore the average length with the char with the exceeding with 2.5 inches of the test not required with the section of the other evidence required with the degree of the fire resistance except for the opposite with the station. Fire extinguisher previous fire extinguisher will provide within 50 feet with the operation or stand serious responsible adequate protection from fire hazards. Flammable waste such as the oil rag flammable materials shall be placed with the covered metal container shall be kept easily with the acceptable location. Flammable liquid gas and gasoline with the volatile liquids flammable gas shall be stored and kept at reasonable equivalent of ventilated places shall the liquid shall be approved with the safety camo smoke with the carrying lighted cigars carry cigarette pipe and prohibited in any of the area liquid gas over the shore over the transfer of any of the container cleanliness the soup the number of the metal container with the refuse with the provide in and around using rather exclusive with the combination accumulation travel the rubbish of the job they promptly remove all the parts of the music rides you with the passenger with the customer shall be maintained with a clean condition equipment you with the connection with the ride shall be constructed with the equipment maintained and serve the operation oil and hydraulic system with the oil and hydraulic system related to the equipment connected to the amusement ride shall be free of the leaks maintained with the ensure with the safety operation all the time such as with the dumping bypass valve with the drill with the lease seated at 125% of the working pressure for the manufacturer witness with the representative office all the system shall be inspected at least annually must be inspected before being put into service all the pressure gauges shall be the maximum working safety pressure consistently marked thereon all states have with the manual and the blower value pressure valve will give the conduction with the rides valve criteria may be controlled with the corner of the ASME repaired and in accordance with the National Board inspection code safety inspected for the state of the inspector once each year. Machinery and machine guarding. General requirements of solve with the machine with the amusement rather than close with the barcade with the otherwise effectively guarded again for the contact with the guard to remove it from the maintenance for the purpose of the replacement of the normal operation required with one more method of the machine with the guarding shall provide with the protect with the public from injury with except for the double guarding with the public barrier with the gearing shielding guard shall be fixed with the machine with the where possible and secure with the everywhere elsewhere with any of the reasonable attachment machine with the not possible with the guard and barrier with the shall be and such with the does not accident with the in hazard with itself with the barriers shall be secured and static with the same light bag to prevent movement of the tip over the public falling or the pressing stumbling against them, and but at least 30 inches side of the barrier should be located with the keep the public at least 6 feet away from the major of the spectatorial rides, at least 3 feet away from all of the kiddie rides, right into the job of the passenger waiting line with a retaining chain for the bar gate and the device, all of the machinery that is designed for the fixed location securely anchored to prevent walking or moving, or rides containing half of the mountings have the catch wind up to the entangling long hair with the have of attached warning with a sign, mechanical power transmission, all power transmission devices associated with the power shall be shielded and cover the bar cave to protect the public. Welding, cutting, and brazing, and no welding, cutting, and abrasion should be accomplished with the public directly observing the process of the hit be hit with a spark with a flying with the material with a generated with a bypass with the end welding, cutting, brazing, accomplished the general public intends should be accomplished behind temporary erected solid barriers, the end of the overlap to prevent with the director exposure of the operation cannot be shielded. The manager shall provide the means of keeping the public away of the point of the working distance 35 feet of the siding brazing, cutting of the gas welded up to 1/2 inch of the 50 feet of all for all gas welding over 1/2 inch of the 150 feet with welding utilizing electrical rods of 3/16 within the diameter. Large electrical welding operation will be accomplished behind the solid shielding and prior to the after public attendance hours. Operation assembly and disassemble the component with supervision, assemble the disassemble the amusement of the device for the temporary structure that shall be done with immediate supervision with the first experience, instructed proper performance for the type of the work and respect with the device and instructions of the quality assurance, assembly of the work. Assembly of the work shall be performed with the property workman-like manner. Person will be properly aligned with shall not be bent with the distal of the cut with the otherwise injured with the course of fit with the parts of the requiring lubrication and lubricate with the course of the assemble the fastening locking device and lift of the bolts of the cap, screw with the cotter pin with the lock washers, etc. Shall be installed with the recover depending on the operation. None shall be drawn to the cotter pin shall be over the lock with the normal nuts firmly set. Welding parts over the safe of the operation depending on the corner to AWS with the welding brave with the proceed with the done with the weld with the qualify with these proceed with the preacher of the route with the manufacturer. Welding inspection of the parts of which are successfully worn with which have the material with the damage for the top with the close visual inspection with the parts with the made with the during assemble to discover the such layer damage immediate inspection fasten device shall be made with the after with the assemble to discover the structure over the wear damage immediate inspection of the fastening device should be made after assembly to ensure that they have properly installed the tools and equipment. Person engaged in assemble the disassemble the amusement of the device of the shall be provided shall be due with the top of the tool of the proper tool of the design enables the work to be done safely broken and damaged on unsuitable tools should be not use the electrically operated tools should be the grounding and use of the ladders and scaffolders safety belts assemble the disassemble the work shall be use of the design of the material of the construction and provide with a reasonable adequate protection of the person using them. Upper ropes and assemble the disassemble the work should be the same quality of the manala or equivalent instrument with the tackle block should be set with a fit with a rope. All load carrying equipment should be designed constructed through the support with intended load. Persons in work areas sufficient number of the person for the work properly with the engaged with the assemble the disassemble the move with the right person to the also with engaged with the work with the make create with the head with the prevented interior of the work area. Or location general layout should be established with the continue with the traffic pattern with the box over the cannons. Canyons formed with the right of the concept of the booth for the troubled roar of the aggressive of the right of the bull should be located immediately in front of the fat hazard equipment layout should it was just for the traffic pattern with the concession area with the shovel the minimum of the traffic in with the water with the electrical line with the intermingling water line with the electrical line should be avoided. Long guide wire of the narrow brace utilized over the rides of the booth as support should be clearly marked with the stream of the device over the attraction. Attention. Temporary ride. A ride should be played with the sole of the solid footing should be secure with the prevent shifting and tipping and swinging with the erratic motion. No cement brick or similar type of the block should be permitted unless of a ride approved with the opposite of the provision with the pertinent with the erratic motion. This way, if it does not apply to ride design with the permanent flotation characteristic flexibility, you shim block with you with the kept in the minimum. Pressure of the ground near with the riding of the footing should be filled with the or tamed with the adequate means with the drain for the provide with the prevent with the water from collecting, softening with the supporting air with the case of the rain. Areas surrounding with the ride shall be clearly kept with the trash with the dripping heads with the daily inspection of the ride motion footing should be made. Public protection added Carnival rides should not be used with the other party while any of the person located within danger of the area with which of the person should be made with the danger such of the fence to the barricade otherwise guarded against public intrusion. Temporary booth shall be not located with the area of the amusement ride with a temporary booth for the utilized with the cooking food shall be located with if such at least for the 10 feet with the clearance exists for the two side with the use of the fire equipment with the emergency vehicle shall not be located within 10 feet with the amusement ride with a minimum clearance of 6 feet with the shall exist with the trim and the exterior of the ride with the wall of the building other strict with at least 12 feet with the clearance which will maintain with the between major speculatory rides at least 3 feet between the all kiddie rides. No time shift the With the example of the ladder fire truck with a hydraulic lifting with available the emergency with the removal of the passenger with the evaluated amusement ride that will not appear. Leveling alignment with the corn probe of the central column of the support structure with the ride design with the operative with the perpendicular axis of each of the pumps line show with the path of the sweep of the platform show with the level the operative with the true horizontal plane with the right angle with the axis with the pivot. Ride moves carrier with the design to operate with the horizontal axis with the show with the level the show with the cave with the upper orbit with the true perpendicular plane with the base with the ride employing the combination of the orbited plane with the ride with the who carry with the operative with the normal and plane with the other true horizontal with the vertical shell level and plumb with the secure with the show with the will not tip of the ship with the will be stable with the under the more adverse operation conditions. Ship with the ride is designed with the operate properly with the base with the plumb at the level or not. Internal combustion power sources. Internal combustion power sources should be adequate. The type of the design with the capacity with the handle with the design low fuel tank should be the adequate capacity with the permanent with the uninterpreted operation during operational hours with the half of the caps with the low non-leak fuel over if overturned where with the impossible to provide with the tank's proper capacity with a complete day with the ride should be shoveled unloaded and evacuated during with the refueling procedure within no circumstance should the fuel supply be replenished while the engines are running. Or enclosed area should the internal combustion area with the operative should be the ventilated exhaust stream of the engine should be the discharge outside of the area of the equipment should be properly grounded. Internal combustion area of the power source should be located in a new manner permitting proper maintenance of the should be protected by each of the guard of the fencing with enclosure of the prevent exposure of the hazard of the equipment from the public. A manager shall provide with the maintain portable fire extinguisher with the classification capacity with the number prescribed by the office of the manager. Also store over the handle liquid petroleum gas either employed either the fuel of the internal combustion engine with the heat with the illumination manner approved by the office of the manager. Shall store over the handle with the flammable liquids and form of the standard office of the public structure of the quantity of the above the 60 gallons will not be permitted with the area with access to the public. 123-2819 and mechanic. Generally, all equipment relative to the Carnival rides given them periodic maintenance for the service that include with the proper lubrication, cleaning of the machinery, and with the motors, worn mechanical parts of machinery, and shall periodically inspect the loose and fast lockout devices should be engaged privately, inspecting with everything in piece with equipment and check with the amusement ride should be kept free with the protruding nails, loose nail with a splintered wood, loose and wobble seat with a rough and loose and with a dangerous armrest. Wire rope. It should be thoroughly inspected with the wire rope with the tune found with the damage with the tread with the condemned with the replaced with a new raft with the property design with the capacity with the deterred down with the tag with the is attached with the any with the following with the condition with the case with the cause of the rope replacement. Rings ropes with the 6 randomly distributed broken wire with the 1 rope lay with the 3 broken wire with the 1 string with the 1 rope lay length with the long with the rope with the 1 stand with string with the makeup with the complete revolutions around with the rope, pendant with the stand with the rope bearing with the entire load with the subject with the constant pressure for the surge shock, evidence of more than 1 broken wire with the 1 rope lay, raising, scrubbing, and peeling with the causing loss with more than 1/3 of the original diameter outside with the wire, serve with the corrosion with the surface and kink with the surface and crushing with the other damage result of the distortion over the rope structure. Heat damage making the result of the torch or arc caused by the contact with electrical devices production with a formal diameter with a more than 3/64 inch diameter with the up to with a 3/4 inch, 1/16 of an inch of the diameter, 7/8 of an inch, 1/8 eighth of an inch, 3/32 of an inch of the diameter, 1/4 inch, 1.5 inch marked reduction of the diameter, indicating deterioration of the core with the result of the lack of the proper support for over the load carrying the strand with the acceptable rope stretch with the elongation may be indicated by the internal deterioration by bird caging with the other distortion result of the inside element of the rope structure for the carrying out more loads than others. Noticeable rusting of the developing of the broken wire with the vicinity with the attachment with the condition localized operating rope section and the question with the limited to make with a new attachment that may be done rather than replacing the entire rope. All wire rope used in support suspended with the barrier with the control force of the waves shall be doubled and clamped. Wire ropes used to support the suspend with the barrier with the control force of the waves involved with the movement with the utilization of the cars, the chair with the seat with the gondolas, with the care with the sweeps, and with the supporting members of the ride shovel not length with the repair of its life and the coupling sockets with the fittings with the shovel design with the proof of the office with the control of the corns with the instructions specifically in the design of the engineer and manufacturer. Wood components footing and splices with the upright with the track timbers with the ledger with the sills, flaps of the tracing, bracing, footing, flooring, other wood components of the ride shovel inspect with the deterioration cracks fracture of the impetus of the shovel given the inch of the tight nail of the bolts and lag bolts other fasteners wood members from the end the effective with the shovel with the remove them replace with the material with the equal with the greater strength of the capacity. Housing keeping adequate number of the containers refuse with the provide with the all in and all with the round amusement ride with the excess with the accumulation with the grass refuse shall be promptly removed. All parts of the amusement ride with the public and shall be maintained with the cleaning the condition and all of the walkways maybe the amusement ride shall be kept free with the debris with the obstruction and with the other hazards. Electric motors control with the water shall be given the dielectrical control of the test over the ensure the safety of the operation of the result of the kept within the Carnival wire rope rulers, drums, and sheave of the mechanical device for the brake of the control of the coming in contact with the wire rope, such for the roll of the drums and sheave of the device, should be examined on periodic basis to ensure clothing the safety condition mechanical device with the broken, should be undo with the roughness, uneven wire, that shall be replaced with immediately. Articulation bearings. The articulation pinion of the frame with the sweep of the electric eccentric for the other mechanical member of the ship with the inspect with the wear out of the round and crack for the other side with the deterioration of the kept in good repair. All main center spindle with the not visible with the naked eye with the x-ray with the approved with the meaning with the accrediting testing laboratory copy with the result of the show of the test with the office test results shall have a list with the date with the name of the ride owner with the shear with the name of the identification of the ride with the bearing surface of the ball joint for the other single and multiple direction mechanical surfaces should be kept well lubricated, clean, and inspected from the out of the round and out of the cylindrical should be kept in good repair. Gear alignment with the gear drive with the should be kept in good repair. Alright, electrical wiring, motor wiring, general circuit circuitry with the directive of the wiring, vest and wing with the constant session, standing wiring with the inspect with the installation wiring and fraying with the other side with the deterioration of the cracking, surge secure with the tape of the repairs, maybe U with the tape wraps should be kept to minimum wire clippings, the articulated devices should be kept in good repair with the wires, the elbow with the end of the articulation device should be emphasized during inspection. See if the device is pertaining restraint with the containment of the device should be inspect with the ensure with the continuously fulfill their direct function with a worn damaged areas shall be repaired and being leaked shall cover with immediate replacement. Hydraulic system check with the leak with the damaged pipe with the worn deteriorated hoses. All welding being in accordance with the AWS standard with the welding brace with the procedure with the down with the welders qualified as the procedure with the procedure should be provided by the manufacturer. 123.328.20 electric addition electrical equipment installed with the utilize with the around with the Carnival rides and conform with the latest adoption and implementation of the National Electric Code and NFP 74 with the rules state with the emphasis with the clarification supplement with the National Code with the in conflict as if the period with exists with the National Code shall have the precedence. Installation portable electrical system with the amusement the job of the install with a qualified electrician ground with the Carnival shell will not operate with the grounding electrodes with equipment safe with the grounding connection secure with the polarized test. The grounding conductors conform with the Natural Electric Code with the provide with the Article 250 the grounding paragraph 250-94 with the turning current system with the 250-95 size of the equipment ground conductor with the path of the ground with the circle with the equipment and with the conductor enclosure shell will have one permanent continue with the two shell have the ample current with the capacity of the conductor with the current liable will be imposed on it. Three shell with the impedance sufficient to low limited with the potential of the ground facility with the operation of the over with the current device in the circuit. Service the ground with equipment and the operator general with the operating with a separate supply with the located closer with the 8 feet with all the service equipment and so with the should be bound with the gate with the strip of the ground should be established with connection with the ground connector. Strip with the entry with the neutral bar with the hot truck with the generator to be approved with the type of the strip of the grounding contract grounding electric with the ground rods. Sufficient number of the ground rods should be spaced with not less than 6 feet apart with the strip of the depth of the to obtain with a minimum of 25 ohms of release of the resistance to the ground with the 3 ohms for less shall exert for the ground to the water system with the generator ground with electrical power supply with the music route with the privately owned operated generation system generator all equipment show with the properly grounded if the system incorporated into the ground. Circuit equipment and safety saver at the entry of the neutral bar with the circuit ground with the equipment and safety ground conductor shall continue for the step of the throughout with the entire shift of the portable outlet with the terminal box shall contain with the serve of the ground through of the ground receptacle for the bolster ship with the safety with the equipment safety ground and conductor should be attached to each of the ride with the grounding resistance 25 ohms to the left with the contain separate steel with the tracks with the steel framework the set with the relief with the coaster truck with a big slide with the head of the ground and same with the serve of the equipment. Current limiting devices conductors shall be infused with the protect with the carrying with the carrying capacity with no later than 6 disconnect switches with the battery beam on the hot truck. Generators and lift of the main switches provide with all the distribution on the hot truck with the generator shall be either 100 amps the capacity enough for you with the current limited devices shall be installed with the neutral ground conductors motor lighting circuits shall be separate in fact used separately high voltage lines outlet electrical power lines no more than 120 volts shall be clearly marked to show their voltages outdoor apparatus of the wiring electrical apparatus wiring located outdoors shall be quality with the construct with the protect with the exposure of the weather will not interfere with the normal operation. Elevated line with the elevated power lines crossing across the other roads with the ground with the Carnival with the fair system with the provide with the minimum vertical clearance 12 feet with the road with the minimum horizontal clearance of 30 feet of on each side with the normal passing space for the vehicles. Bus bars. Bus bars with the trouble located below and near with the bottom of the cabinet, separate bus drive with the trouble drive with the ground and neutral with the fade with the conductor with the color code with the paint with the on the inside with the outside with the back with the not in contact with the trip with the bars bar Ground green with a yellow strip that first phase black, neutral wire with a natural gray to the second phase red, third phase blue, and on four-way delta connected secondary phase conductor having the higher voltage grounding should be arranged with the color codes to carry out through all of the connected wiring surfaced over the portable power outlets of the terminal boxes. Bushel has not been less than 200 ampere capacity with a low terminal with a switchboard with a panel board should be located within the initial with the reach for the car for the beyond live bus hot bus for the make local connection. Portable power outlet with a terminal box with a box with a rain type with a kept unlocked with the general public of the air with a wood box with a maybe with the installation with also with a resistant fire resistant material with a paint with the insulation varnish. Service power should be connected with the box with a receptacle monitor with the exterior with the wall with the encoder the shape of the grounding with the distribution with the box accomplished with the neutral with the terminal bar with the circuit breakers of the fuses with the brand circuits of the which include the equipment shape of the grounding with the abstain with the power with the receptacles mount with the exterior with the box with the exterior with the opening with the receptacle must be at least 6 inches above the ground level. Provide with a protective cover the drain, over the canvas, over the oil, over the possible rain, over the receptacle, over the if required, with the running with conductor, with the directly through the opening over the wall of the box. Additional service to obtain with the required amperage. Opening shall be color coded with the sheaths of these shall be sized to prevent public accessibility interior to the public. Use of the breaker and boxes should be secured with the permanently in place and all of the connection with the boss over the bar over the boxes should be with the through screw, the lugs and proppers over the fasten in place. Power sources, electrical power sources should be located with a manner permitting proper maintenance and should be protected by either ground fencing with an enclosure to prevent exposure of the heads for the secure the equipment for the public. Alright, 128.3.28.21 daily inspection. Carnival rides should be inspected each day and when the tender to be with the inspection should be made with a person experienced with an instructor with the proper assembly with the operation of the device should be performed with the device and normal operation inspection and testing should include the operation control device, the speed limiting device and brakes other equipment provided for the safety record of each of the inspection should be the test made upon the completion of the test should be kept with the device and available to the office. The operating manager should only use and permit to be used ride which is not properly assembled which is defective and unsafe in any of the part for the control of the safety equipment. Special situations 123.28.22 with the code to provide the safety of the life and limit to promote public welfare with a rule with becoming particularly difficult cannot be complied with literally with where literal application which can be undue hardship of the officers made with a written request with grant exemptions but only when clearly evident with a reasonable safety with is assured in the event of the unsafe condition with the discovered during the course of the safety inspection Carnival device of the manufacturer of the device is no longer a business cannot be contacted specific repairs officers shall determine if the necessary requirements of the need of the order to return the Carnival device and safety operation conditions. Exempt the standard of the regulation with approval of the officer of the operator owner of the following equipment shall exempt to apply with the permit for the inspection owner and operator shall meet all of the requirements of safety activities rule with the mechanical balls climbing walls, human-powered equipment and distractions shall be included but not limited to space balls, orbitrons, air-supported structures, and paddle boats and water-cycle bicycles. Alright, this was Fire Department Commissioner 123.28 Rules Regulation for Carnival Rides.